So I think you're right. Poppies were not easy this game.
Yeah, when it comes to picks and bans for game number 2, things I want to see differently, I absolutely still want to see the Ganesh on the side of the Poppies, and I want to see the Chronos either picked or banned. You cannot let Valance Squad play this character.
And that's what, well, not quite Chronos, but someone who's just as devastating from that ADC carry position. Scotty getting banned out first here from Valance Squadron, and I doubt anyone's going to have any problems with that.
Yeah, not quite just yet. The Scotty has been interesting. I mean, she's just been, I think, almost 100% pick ban rate at this point. Way too powerful. Teams just don't want to deal with her.
Artio gets banned out. Also very successful here is Artio, so good to see her banned. She can be very strong over there in that duo lane, especially early. Stance switch gives her access to more abilities early, really, than everyone else, just because she can switch to a second one, a third, and a fourth.
That's the key. As the game goes on, I think Artio is a little bit more vulnerable than people might anticipate, especially during that dash. Your crowd controller, and she's kind of toasted.
Yeah.
Nemesis really eats her up. But those early levels, level 1, 2, 3, you just have more abilities because you're a stance switcher. Just like an Uller, just like a Tyr, just like a Hell, but all 3 of those characters do advantages at level 1 specifically. Artio, absolutely a part of it.
We see Terra and Camazotz getting banned out here too. So far, these seems like pretty meta bans. You don't want to let Camazotz run through the jungle doing absurd amounts of damage. Terra as well offering a lot of control. This is in strong response to what happened there in the last game. Don't want to let Terra back in here.
Yeah, I mean, she just offers a whole lot, and everybody seems to be able to play her well, Dracomarino included.
Erlang Shen locked in for Valance Squadron, and then Chulainn locked in here for the Poppies. So Erlang Shen, tell me a little bit about what Erlang Shen brings in so far. Is it just the taunt, or?
I mean, it's just so much. He is one of the better lane bullies, and he's one of the better lane bullies in the game. The solo lane right now, depending on who you ask, might be the best solo laner.
Yeah.
His ability to just fight in there, heal up off of Death Toll because of cleave basic attacks, Fatalis effect with the Mink, and just he winds up being able to be too much. And that goes without talking about a taunt. So, I mean...
That heals you.
Yeah, in lane, in team fights, Erlang Shen, the man.
Warchi decides to run it back on that Jing way, and for good reason. He did an excellent job there last game, so he's putting out plenty of damage. Nemesis, though, back in the hands of Valance Squadron and Fafnir for the support position, and then Soul for the Poppies. So strong pickup for the Poppies there for their mid lane.
I like the Fafnir on Valance Squadron here. I think it's going to allow BigManTingz to enable Nemesis and the Erlang Shen to be even crazier. Nemesis, a lot of people have been experimenting with, not even experimenting, people like the basic attack build on Nemesis.
Yes.
And that's how she kills you. You combine that with a Fafnir, she's killing you even more so. So that's a little bit scary, and you also want to take that away from the Poppies, Jingwei, Soul. Yeah, no thanks.
Morgan and Scotty banned out for Poppy, so they're taking aim at that middle lane of Valance Squadron. Don't want Lawbster just running around doing whatever he wants. And then Susano picked up for the Poppies. We saw Susano, I believe, on adapting earlier. Maybe a little bit of struggles. Why do you think the Poppies are looking to Susano?
Dheylo. So it's interesting. I heard Anatoly ask, you know, you think adapting's trying to be a little bit too spicy on the Susano pick.
Yeah.
I think Susano is still totally a viable selection. There might be some other junglers that are hotter at the moment, or might even have more application. But when it comes to Susano, Dheylo is one of the premier Susano players in the game, and if I'm the Poppies, I want him to carry this game.
Huyi and Vulcan, the last 2 picks there for Valance Squadron, so Vulcan going to be in the middle lane for Lawbster. Kind of hard to ban that dude out. If you keep doing it, then he'll just pick Vulcan and kind of run on you. And then Geb picked up here for the Poppies. So tell me a little more about Lawbster here in this Vulcan.
I mean, Lawbster has been playing... Lawbster is one of the literal oldest accounts in Smite.
Yeah.
And Vulcan is something he's got in his wheelhouse. Like you said, you can't really ban him out. What you're looking for out of Lawbster's Vulcan is really just, I mean, it's cut and dry. He's looking to provide a lot of damage early on. Decent wave clear. More importantly, his ability to save mana by putting down the turret right now. He's going to be sitting up in base. And see, the Book of Thoth start, that's what he's allowed to do because he's allowed to... Book of Thoth start, well, he's going to cancel it, so cancel that.
Hey, man, I would love to hear you talk about Book of Thoth, but it looks like he's just not going to be... I was pulled in there, F-Dot, I'm sorry.
My point being is that there's a couple of different mage starts, and diving into the Book of Thoth start, right? It's 1250, and you're just kind of stuck without too much... or you need 1250 to finish the item after the 1400 that it costs to buy tier 2. And then what happens is you're just kind of stuck without much regen. And Vulcan's the type of character that can handle that because he just puts down the turret and basic attacks and gets some help. Lawbster decides to go the different route. That's more about communication with the team, and knowing that right away is because he's going to be more alone in the middle lane.
Very aggressive are Faeles and Ducky here early on. Kind of going up further into their side, but it's also aggressive here in the middle lane as MrNazer's under a lot of trouble. Geb, though, good thing they started over here, able to sort of give him some peel there with that knock-up and keep MrNazer safe for now.
Yeah, and so Lawbster again going the way of Bumba's Mask. Be cautious junglers on the right side of the map. So he'll be able to get the heal and deal the extra damage to those minion camps. Half HP already for Lawbster. He's got to be a little bit more careful here.
He does need to be more careful. And once again, we're seeing this happen here in the middle lane. We're seeing BigManTingz and Dracomarino here. So it kind of seems like this is just maybe like the meta start from now. Let your AD carries have that solo farm and then go help your mid laners make it through the early game.
Yeah, we've seen this for a number of weeks here. Obviously, we're just starting here. It's week number 2 in our SPL False. But we've seen that different variations here and there. And the support in the mid lane has been a very big thing so far.
Yes, Brent popped there by the Poppies, and Creed the one that ends up getting very low, already in that rage form, so that tells you just how much damage he's been taking over here on this side.
And so what that allows to happen is the Hunters are able to elevate off the ground a little bit quicker, and Hunters, Lawbster taking a little bit more damage than I'm sure he'd like. Hunters are the characters that you want to race to the end game now, especially when you're looking at crit builds. You're able to 3-shot players, get them there as fast as possible, and let them carry it.
We're seeing some aggression here from Funballer. Not surprised to be saying that at all. Jumps in and getting plenty of poke out. Any chance for a stun. Looks like he does hit it, but I don't think there's a whole lot of kill potential here. Looking to try and get some poke and make it hard for Warchi to farm up.
Yeah, that's the key here, because Warchi's always going to be able to out-farm you with that passive. So anything you can do, stay aggressive, I think is the call on the side of the Valance Squad's Hunter, unless he gets the call that, well, they're heading to the left side of the map. Retreat.
Yeah, Valance Squad have been playing very aggressively on this right-hand side. You can see their speed and blue buffs are actually still both up, so they hadn't even gotten those just yet because of how aggressive they've been playing over here in the lane and very likely up inside that jungle as well. So they do come on back now. Go ahead and pick up that buff there for Ducky, or rather for not for Ducky, yeah, absolutely. So you can make sure he has that on him.
Oracle's on the left side. Also taken by Valance Squad. Very important that they keep that vision. Different story though this time around. Now both players are starting on the traditional Hunters. So Chronos never gonna have a shot to really solo that Gold Fury that early on. We'll see which build Funball goes, but I'd like to see him go the Devo Gauntlets build because of how fantastically Lawbster can confirm that Gold Fury via his ultimate all the way from almost the mid lane.
Dracomarino was kind of lurking around Tom Clancy in there in the jungle, but Funballer stays back, make sure there's no aggression on him there. Actually, Ducky getting a lot of good poke off onto Creed here on the right-hand side, but with these tanky warriors, they're okay. But Faeles is hanging around local here too, and he's got that ultimate available, so if Creed hadn't backed up, I think Faeles might have been willing to jump in there.
Yeah, that clip right there is why, and that's the answer to your question, why do we see Erlang Shen first picked? He's able to just deal that damage and heal up, and like you said, I mean, we might be able to see some nonsense after this Nemesis is level 5. We might be able to see some nonsense after Nemesis rejoins this lane.
Red buff coming up here down here on the left-hand side for Valance Squadron here in a few seconds. So likely once Lawbster and them get finished securing these elementals over here, that'll be another place where he'll be wanting to go here on the map. But Valance Squadron doing a good job on this right-hand side of the map. I think that this is where we saw them have a lot of pressure last game too. Controlling these elementals is big for them.
Yeah, it's a big part of the early game. Allows you to sort of amass a decent lead without investing too much. You can see about 600 gold, or even a little bit more so, on the side of Valance Squad. And that's where you got to start. You got to start with these small leads that don't mean much of anything. And then once you get a couple of those across the map, all of a sudden, you've got a real tangible lead here.
Faeles is kind of just chilling over here on this right-hand side of the map. Is that something we see a lot from Faeles, kind of hanging out in the solo lane, or is that more in a response specifically to Creed, as we see a bit of a skirmish by these mid-harpies?
Well, Faeles didn't have really anything to do with everything else being farmed out.
Yeah, big ultimate coming over the top there, but it looks like it does get Aegis down. MrNazer's very low here, drops the ultimate on top of himself, but Faeles able to stick around and try and get some damage, but now they're out of position as Dracomarino pushes in.
Yeah, the ultimate not going to save you there, buddy. Tries to ult Gab and get some movement speed, but unfortunately can't get out. Ducky. That was. You gotta be some type of guy. 1 versus 3. Your teammate died. I'm still gonna steal their speed buff.
Yeah, Ducky maybe recognizing he couldn't really help in the mid lane, goes for the speed buff, trying to help out here with it, but still not able to get in, just kind of forced to back off there as our AD carries continue to trade over here. Just a couple love taps in that left-hand side.
Yeah, again, you can see the stacking build not online for either hunter just yet. I think that we're going to see it again on a Warchi. For Funball, though, not sure. Really not sure which direction we're going to go.
They're hanging out here in this jungle because those oracles are coming back here online. Funballer looking to see if he can try and contest these. He gets some good poke off, and I think it actually bounces back, and he's able to split half those. So it was sort of the triple bounce that lets him steal away one of those oracles. Very calculated, right after.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I remember the last time that I said Funball really knows those angles when I was commentating Valance Squad. I don't know who got memed more, me or Funball, because he did not know those angles when he used it. But that time, Funball hitting the angles, very nice.
Oh yeah, Funball's one of those guys that's got the map, so got the map, and he's got all the angles charted out for Hu-Yi, right? He's one of those guys. So
in his brain, yeah.
In his brain. So he's able to secure those oracles here. Back over here in the mid lane, the pressure's very even here. Jingwei and Funballer kind of just smacking around that left-hand side, but again, Gold Fury, we see it heavily warden in this side. This is looking to be the next big area where they're going to contest.
I mean, always Valance Squad already with a swift lead off of virtually nothing. The Gold Fury is always a big part of what you're looking for this early on.
Yeah, right now, Valance Squadron actually sitting about, what was that, 1,300 up over the Poppy. So strongly they're able to establish, despite the kill lead being even here at 1-1. The XP sitting pretty at about this exact same level. So that is an early lead here at 7 minutes, and it's not nothing either at this early point in the game. So that's something they can use to try and establish control over Portal Demon or those elementals like we've seen them doing so far.
Yeah, I mean, the kills are so much less important than the farm, specifically early on. When you look at a successful team, the metric you kind of want to look at for the first 10 minutes is actually net worth. If we could take a look at net worth real quick, I want to show you guys something. Is that Valance Squad has been able to sort of push themselves up, experience per minute as well. A lot of blue members up there on the top end of things, and that's what you want if you want to be successful.
And this is what we wanted to see from Valance Squad with their lead going in. Big Susano coming through the team fight, but it's actually the knockup trying to stay alive there. It's Creed, and he takes down Lawbster. Dheylo got that sprint on him, trying to get out of there with the health bar so low, but the blink from BigManTingz gets him into the back line, and he blows him up.
Big Man Blinks coming through in the clutch. Valance Squad now trying to continue on. Dracomarino cut down by Faeles. Gonna dash on through. Creed still relatively healthy. Ducky is not. He's got to get out of there. Over the wall goes BMT, and the Poppies lose that team fight.
Yeah, that fight ends up being in favor there of the Poppies. Creed saw the health bar so low for Ducky there, but really not able to go after it any further. So just going to be forced to back up there and clean up those elementals.
Yeah, I mean, it was... why are you fighting there? That's the question I want to ask the Poppies. Valance Squad goes ahead and pushes into that fight. They want to steal the speed buff. The Poppies, I don't think that you need to defend that speed buff that hard. That's the question I ask is, why are you fighting there? Just let them take it. I'm not sure how strong they was, especially looking at Faeles. That ultimate. Oh my goodness, where did Dheylo go? This is the game that Dheylo's supposed to really be carrying here, and not seeing it just yet.
Poppies coming over here to establish the oracles, but it's Funballer and BigManTingz rotating over. Funballer drops the Sundowns over the top, but Warchi's able to ult way out, and now it's Dracomarino who's been left without a friend. Dheylo comes over with the pull, but it was not enough.
Just no friends, no new friends. No new friends, not at all. Number 4 for Valance Squad, and I mean, that was, again, just nice and easy. Dracomarino caught out just a little bit, his second death right here, and you know, if you're going to be playing on this Gab, one of the things is that you have to realize is that before rollout comes out, you are extremely susceptible to death.
Yes.
You're one of the more dangerous characters, especially if your rollout gets caught, you're just toast.
Yeah, Dracomarino there reminded me a lot of your Facebook page, right, Tom?
Okay.
No friends, right?
What was that?
No friends?
Oh, that's, oh man, that was not even good.
What? Not even good?
That was not even good. Your second guest cast, either you do it, I don't think so. I'm gonna pull you in just like that.
Yeah, big ultimate coming out there from MrNazer here on that mid lane. Lawbster brought down very low, but he's able to get out despite both ultimates being committed from the Poppies.
Yeah, I mean, I loved that play to Dheylo. Again, that's what you want your Susano to be doing. Pull the enemy in, and then MrNazer can go ahead and ult, and Dheylo can ult. Just a little bit shy on the damage, a little bit shy on the damage. Unfortunate there for the Poppies, because they really liked that play.
And Lawbster's able to get out without even having his Aegis available for him in that fight. We can see it's just now coming off cooldown for him, so it's very good that he was able to get out of that one alive. Now MrNazer trying to back, but fails. I think doesn't want to let him do it. Big pull out though from Dheylo and not Dracomarino, but rather Dracomarino does go in and get a big knock-up off. Now it's Faeles here, who's looking very low in the backline, but he's able to escape. Ultimate comes out from BigManTingz, but it's Dheylo who ends up taking down Faeles.
Why did he stick around? Faeles could have gotten out for some reason. The Poppies sort of let him out, and Faeles said, "No, please. You've done me a disservice. Please kill me."
I think Faeles went in to try and stop MrNazer from backing, or maybe at least scare him, because it looked like maybe he went in and sort of came back out, but he got pulled down almost immediately, just like we're seeing Dracomarino get pulled here. Turns back around, gets the knockup on the BigManTingz, but Dracomarino is the one that does end up falling, but that's not going to be enough for the Poppies. They're pushing into Ducky.
And if they get Ducky, this is a big win. Dracomarino can't fall for nothing. Ducky's being chased by 3 separate players here, John, but he's still very tanky. The Poppies are just going to let this one go.
Yeah, looks like Valance Squad recognized, probably Ducky was singing in the comms, that he didn't feel like he was really in any kind of trouble. They weren't making any hard rotations or anything like that over, so the Poppies were looking for what they could, but I think Ducky felt like he was all right.
Yeah, unfortunately, not going to be the case here.
Ultimate coming out, though, from Funballer on top of Warchi, having a bit of a fight over here, but it's actually Faeles who ends up taking out Creed, while our ADCs have a bit of a fight over here in the left-hand side. So yet one more fight going in favor of Valance Squadron.
Oh, the Nemesis took out a tanky character? Exactly. That's what she's supposed to do. That's why she's so powerful right now. People love to complain about warriors. Nemesis is the anti-warrior. Love it.
Warchi forces out the Aegis there for Funballer, so even though no kill came out, that's a very important cooldown that's been taken away from Funballer thanks to Warchi's ultimate. So look for that next time that the Poppies have an engagement. They know Funballer is going to be vulnerable, but it's actually MrNazer who gets jumped on here again. There's 3 members in duo and mid lane, but they back off.
I don't know about that one, Lawbster. Lawbster just completely off the mark with that ultimate.
Zoning.
No! If anything, he zoned the wrong way. Ult behind. Now, Vulcan ultimate's one of the fun ultimates that you can actually zone ult pretty nicely with. You ult behind them, forcing them to run into you. Instead, he just ulted where the guy wasn't.
Well, Poppies recognize big ultimate for Lawbster is on cooldown. They start up here this Gold Fury. This is a good chance for him. It's already down below half health. Looks like Poppies are able to secure it. Dheylo is the one that does secure it, yes, but it looks like the ultimate's coming out on top of Creed.
Right side, the chase is on as Dheylo's gonna get into the tower and teleport away nice and easy. And the Poppies right there, beautiful attention to detail. They make this play simply because Lawbster ulted. It doesn't matter that Lawbster missed, if Lawbster hit. If Lawbster killed a player, it would still be Vulcan ult is down, go, 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 go. It's a bright green light.
Valance Squadron come over to start up the Portal Demon, but Poppies are local and looking to respond. Lots of damage went into Creed, so he's forced to back out early. Still standing here on the Portal Demon, not actually pulling it as just the Vulcan turret, but now it's Poppies that are looking to pull back this Portal Demon and try and get a fight to start here. Pull onto Ducky. Lots of damage coming in from MrNazer there as well. Ducky very, very low. They're going to continue the aggression here. Susano very mobile, likely to be able to catch up.
I like Dracomarino fighting it with the knockup, but he's going to get stunned himself. Left side, trouble in Funball, tries him and BigManTingz versus the world. Big Man Coerce comes out, and Funball's going to let him go down with the basic attacks.
Creed ends up getting taken down there by Funball at the end of the fight, and Lawbster throws out the ultimate, maybe just trying to catch someone if they were backing there on the other side of it. But one more cooldown that's going to be down for him here. Dheylo recognizes that they're going for the Portal Demon, jumps in, but Funballer responds with a jump of his own. BigManTingz helps him get that one cleaned up.
Again,
one more kill.
Staying aggressive, staying competitive. MrNazer able to turn things around and take out MrNazer. But Nazer, but take out BigManTingz. But that's what he's been doing this whole game. Fails with the double dash down, is going to be able to catch up with Warchi, but that's what we've seen BigManTingz do this whole game. 3-1-4, that being his first death there, John. And really what it comes down to is that BigManTingz has been a fantastic setup man for his squad so far.
Warchi and Faeles trade ultimates there as Valance and Poppies trade 2 kills at the end of that last engagement. Right now we're looking at about a 1,000 or so gold lead here in favor of Valance Squadron as the kills are 8-5. Hey, look at that, 1,000. The experience lead though here, the real story at 2,400 in favor of Valance Squad. So they're going to be the ones swinging just a little bit harder with more levels in their abilities.
Yeah, a little bit. This is the beginning of a nice lead for Valance Squad. As long as things continue to go in this direction, Valance Squad should be relatively fine and really not have to worry about too many happenings. But the Poppies, well, a couple more Gold Furies like that last one that they took, John, and all of a sudden you're going to see a very quick turnaround.
Grouping here over those mid-Harpies. BigManTingz tries to come in and kind of poke his nose into it, but decides to back off. Valance Squadron, though, recognizing the strong pressures from Poppy on the left side, pick up this Portal Demon here, and it looks like it's going to be going down for free. Creed's recognizing that's happening, but not able to get there in time. Lawbster's ultimate does come over the top, and it looks like that ultimate was enough to help them secure it, but nothing else really comes from it.
Again, they just didn't know. You can't allow that to happen if you're the Poppies.
Yep.
I get it, smaller constellation prize. Every little bit counts. You can't let that happen. Poppies drop the ball again.
Well, if Poppies end up getting the Oracles, then Valance Squadron actually got the bigger prize in that one by taking down that Portal Demon. That's a pretty big deal for him, especially with the Gold Fury still a minute 30 away from spawning. That was the best thing on the map for him to take. Bit of a trade here between MrNazer and BigManTingz, but not too much likely to come of it, even though Dracomarino is hanging around.
Right now, I think it's very important for Valance Squad to sort of keep their foot on the gas here. They're coming to a section where they could get down to a lull, but starting this fight, exactly what they need, John.
Ultimate comes out on top of Dracomarino, and because of it, he gets deleted there in the middle lane. Credit for that kill ends up going to Funballer, and now that tier 1 tower in mid lane's available too.
I love it. Keep the pace up. This is the sort of situation, 16, 17 minutes in, where teams with a little bit of a lead can sort of let go and allow the enemy to come right back into the fight. Instead, ultimates being forced out left, towers being forced down mid. This is what I want to see out of the Valance Squad. Stay aggressive.
And it all comes down to Faeles as well. He's the one dictating the pace of the game. When he puts that ultimate down on top of Dracomarino, he's one of the squishiest targets now. We take him out, and he has no way to protect himself. They kept their foot on the gas last game, thanks in large part to Faeles on that Nemesis, and they're doing it this game as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Nemesis... Ooh.
And they're hanging around here in the mid lane, waiting on MrNazer to rotate in. Lawbster ultimate comes over the top. Not a whole lot of damage that comes out for him, but it's Ducky, the one that ends up in trouble. Creed takes him down quick.
And still, Warchi relatively low, and you can see Funball giving chase, and he'll take down the enemy Hunter. Now, couple of play 2 versus 2. And that's Creed just powering down Funball. He'll fall down to the wayside. Lawbster could be next.
Yeah, Lawbster under a lot of pressure here from Creed. He's underneath the tower, doesn't even care. Takes down Lawbster, no problemo. That one ends up being a 4-for-1 overall in favor of the Poppies.
That team fight had Valance Squad all over it.
Yes.
That team squad had Valance Squad all over it. Love the plan of the Poppies to turn around. Last game I was talking about Warchi. You know who's quietly doing work at the back end? Creed. You know who's loudly doing work this game? Creed.
Yeah, that team fight was so important for the Poppies. Not only able to clean up 4 kills, but also come over and take that Gold Fury for free as well. Now they're able to decrease that gold lead. It's been not just normalized, but it's about 900 or so in the Poppies' favor actually now. So very good job able to come back in and equalize this game out. At 18 minutes, that's not really much of a lead, but it's definitely better than where they were, what, 2 minutes ago?
You got to be able
like 2 minutes ago.
You got to be able to come back. I mean, that's the thing, is that if you are put behind 2 steps, you got to be able to still take that step forward. Just accepting your fate, not a good look. Valance Squad going to try the cheeky call again here, John. Although this time I think the Poppies have a little bit more information.
Right now it's only Dheylo who's around, and MrNazer with not very much mana. It looks like Funballer's able to secure it there with his ultimate. Ducky ends up getting the final credit for it, but that Fire Giant goes the way of Valance. Once again, when Poppies take an objective, they go take the Fire Giant.
I would like to see a little bit of contest coming out for the Poppies.
Yes.
Just anything, throw yourself at it. I disagree with the full just laissez-faire, let them have it. You're not being pressured on your Phoenixes. You're not being pressured on your towers. Just go for the all-out play. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't, and if you die there, oh well.
And tell me about the difference too between overcommitting on Gold Fury at like 8 minutes in the game and then just completely backing off on Fire Giant at like 19 minutes.
I mean, you're looking at all sorts of different variables. One of which, so the Gold Fury isn't worth as much at 9 minutes as it is later on in the game. But also, more importantly, perhaps you're looking at just raw gold. The Gold Fury early on is going to swing your lead maybe plus minus 1,000, right? Minus from them and plus from you. Whereas when you look at the Fire Giant, with the additional damage you're able to deal to towers, that's 500 gold for the squad. You can get 1,500 for the next tier 2 if that's what Valance wants to commit to. It's just a better play.
Tier 1 tower in left does fall in favor of Valance Squadron. That's their Fire Giant belt around their waist, helping them do a whole lot of damage to those structures. Grouping up now here, though, in the middle lane. Valance Squadron looking at where they're going to make their next big push. They're waiting on that minion wave, it looks like, to come in with them, and BigManTingz is skulking along the side. He does have that blink available, and he's been putting it to great use here so far.
Dheylo has no clue. BigManTingz gets stunned out.
Takes a hammer to the mouth.
Nice. Just nice. Basically, BigManTingz is just saying, hey, Dheylo, I know you're here. You're not getting the flank.
Right now, Valance Squadron are pushing in mid-tier 2 tower already down to half health. They're doing so much damage here, thanks a large part to Funballer chunking away here at that tower, and Poppies have decided they are going to try and defend it, but they're getting outpoked here very well by the Vulcan and by Funballer.
And that's going to be a problem going forward. It's going to be BigManTingz, but the immediate shield. Nice play by Draco.
And nice play by BigManTingz. He wasn't really looking for the engagement there, I don't believe. He created space there for the rest of his team to take down that tier 2 tower. Now they can come back here towards the Portal Demon, which is available towards some of this right-hand side jungle, because Speed Buff is close to respawning, and go ahead and extend out that lead.
Zoning blink.
The zoning blink, yes, there we go.
Just going in, blink, and make the opposition react to you. Because of that, and they kind of have them in their hand. Just nice little, I don't know if it's a bluff because you actually used the resource of blink,
right.
But there wasn't this giant follow-up after the fact. I really enjoy that. BigManTingz didn't even go into Dragon Form.
They do end up securing the Portal Demon and the speed buff there on that right-hand side of the map. Poppies recognizing that they do have a chance to take this tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, so they are going to do that, trying to respond to Valance Squadron's grouping up on the right-hand side of the map, where they're going to be able to take the tier 1 and very likely keep pushing, and that's why we see Dheylo and MrNazer going ahead and backing to come over here and help defend.
Yeah, all grouped up. The Poppies here. Valance Squad trying to push up against them. Valance Squad here underneath the tower. Probably a good look there, but a nice blink forward from Creed starts the defense.
Creed goes in and knocks up the backline, but not able to get any kind of follow-up from the rest of the Poppies here at this point. And he's not backing off anymore. He goes in even further. Ultimate comes out onto Dheylo from Nemesis, but it's Lawbster the one who's in a lot of trouble. But he's surrounded by blue jerseys, though, able to help peel off Creed and send Creed back to base is Faeles.
Too deep, too deep, too deep. One player, Creed went all the way to the deep end. You're tanky. You're not that tanky to deal with 4, 5 MOBA characters just tunneling all their damage into you.
But that's not going to be the end of that engagement. BigManTingz coming in here with the stun off onto MrNazer, but excellent shield from Dracomarino to deter the rest of that aggression. But Faeles is looping around the backside, gets off the slice and dice onto MrNazer
Big
for the
man
flow.
ultimate.
But big ultimate coming in from Dracomarino, stun 4, and that's going to stop the aggression from them. Their health bars are now very low, or at least at half. And Valance Squadron don't think that that's enough to go ahead and push in here.
Dheylo is comfortable enough. I would have loved to see the Poppies re-engage. However, I understand why not. Relatively low on their own health bars. But Dracomarino, those are the plays that save games. I mean,
yes.
Fire Giant buff despawns. He comes in. He blinks forward. It's not important that the Poppies don't follow up. A lot of times when we see the engagement started by the support player, goes in and, well, there's no follow-up. What did they do wrong there? That was not a pile on here, although if they got a kill, I'm sure nobody would complain about it. That was a stop. The Poppies were looking for a stop, not necessarily a push forward from them. They needed to stop, they got it, and now they can look forward to the next play. This is a great look for the Poppies.
Yeah, if Dracomarino doesn't make that play, then MrNazer very likely gets blown up there in that engage, and we're seeing them back up, though, here and trying to establish some positioning around this Fire Giant. MrNazer, though, very quickly getting punished there by BigManTingz. Shield comes out from Geb to try and slow down some of that damage, but BigManTingz, again, way forward, trying to keep MrNazer from being anywhere near this objective.
Yeah, Valance Squad, you see how they're pushing up here?
Yes.
You want to make sure they have all of this real estate, all of this territory around, and they're actually going to push into the lanes, too. Faeles uses his ultimate nice and early.
One more time, Creed gets counted out. Lawbster ultimate coming over the top, and that's big damage. Dheylo also returns the damage, though, onto Ducky, and he goes down to the ground. That's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Solo for solo.
Okay. That's the two zoners, and they both zoned so hard they died, right? Like, that's rough. This is basically just going to stall the game out for another couple of minutes, basically until our solo laners get back, because they're the players that are if you attack the fire giant, if Poppies attack the fire giant, it's Creed's job to push everybody out, and vice versa for Valance Squad and Ducky. So with the fire giant being started by the Poppies, this is the gutsy call, and you can see how quickly they run away because they don't have that front line.
You talk so much about how they were both so well, they eventually getting blown up.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between zoning and then just being surrounded by 4 people, and I think they both crossed that line there, that last engagement.
I think the line is perspective. It's all just how you look at it.
Just how you look, and if you make it through the end of the team fight, that can sometimes kind of help change the way you feel, as Valance Squadron feel like starting up the fire giant. MrNazer, though, is here, and he's local, ready to put out tons of damage. Doesn't quite have that ultimate available just yet, though, so that's one of the best ways Poppies have to try and contest it.
I mean, Vulcan is going to be your contest, your objective superhero right here. Whether or not Vulcan wants to use his ability in the team fight versus the objective is the question that Valance Squad have to ask themselves, and the one that Poppies have to pay very close attention to the answer.
Lots of poke here happening on this side as Valance Squadron are trying to make sure they're the ones with the superior positioning. If they can catch somebody out here over on this right-hand side, if they can get enough damage off, not even a kill, just send them back to base.
Yeah.
Give themselves the 5v4 over here so that they can take this fire giant. I think that's why we're seeing Lawbster move over here to try and take this objective. Get that fight split up a little bit so they can try and establish control and advantage.
Yeah, the Vulcan all the way on the left side of the map, like I said. A little bit scary knowing that he's the one that really wants to confirm the fire giant. But Valance Squad not too concerned about that, I suppose. The Poppy's going to start at the portal demon here.
Yeah, Poppies recognize, I think, that Vulcan's not there, and they go ahead and start going for the portal demon.
Hey,
but
bud.
Vulcan actually is there, and the ultimate comes over the top. Dracomarino blinks in and only gets Ducky with the Cataclysm, but it looks like it's enough for them to put in a ton of damage onto him, and Creed ends up cleaning up that kill.
So solo laner, not for solo laner this time around. Creed still dealing out some damage with Warchi that isolates Faeles in the hovel. That is the little blue buff spot. Funball now the target. Blink forward, pulled back immediately into the jump. Funball forced out, but gets the kill.
Funballer does a good job returning the kill, but Creed ends up sending him back to the base anyway. Now it's Lawbster, who underneath his own tower ends up getting deleted by Warchi, and Poppies take it 4-1.
Poppy, they're going for the fire giant. 4 down on the side of Valance Squad. Wonderful fight. Meanwhile, BigManTingz takes care of Creed somewhere else. But wow, what a play for the Poppies, being able to make sure to cut down the individuals in the team fight. That's what the Poppies did. They isolated individual members, and that's what allowed them to get the kills. Taking care of Funball while preserving the life of Warchi, absolutely imperative to what the Poppies are doing here.
Dracomarino has been on fire here this game. It was his Blink Cataclysm that set up Ducky to get blown up very early in that engagement. That went so well for the Poppies when Ducky was out of the fight, and that's what Dracomarino's been doing all game.
It's what he's been doing all split, all season.
Yeah.
The Poppies came in as a team that had a lot to learn, but Dracomarino clearly stood a step above everybody. Now you fast forward a little bit, Dheylo kind of matched that, and all of a sudden we were talking about Dracomarino and Dheylo hand in hand. Everybody seems to have stepped it up today. I think Creed has been doing an absorbent amount of work in this match, in this set. And it always comes back to Dracomarino for me, but I think that the rest of the squad has absolutely stepped it up. I'm looking at you, Warchi. I'm looking at you, Creed. For a long time, the Poppies, their fans, love to be very loud and confident.
Yeah.
I think the Poppies are earning it now.
The Poppies able to not just only take the Gold Fury there, but also that tier 1 tower in the mid lane as well. So they're starting to sort of creep back in with that gold lead. Actually, they're a little bit ahead in the gold here at this point after that last fight, and then getting some objectives there too. We can see they got about 850 gold lead, and then experience at about 3,000 there as well. At this point in the game, though, the big difference between the teams, obviously, though, is really that fire giant, and that's what Poppies are using to kind of come down this right-hand side and take this tier 2. BigManTingz, though, hiding behind the rock, but Knockup keeps him from getting the initiation he was looking for.
Sometimes it's less about the numbers and more about the feel, the wind and the sails, the momentum. All momentum on the side of the Poppies right now after that team fight and the fire giant. Dracomarino looking to start something here. He's right up in front for good reason.
And it's Dheylo over here on the side looking to try and have an impact from that Harpy camp and rotating over. Looks like maybe Funballer might even notice that he's over there because he's rotating over, gets the Mark of the Crow on him to establish some vision and brings him down to half health for his trouble as well.
Woof. I think that was going to be a big part of what the Poppies wanted to do.
Yep.
They wanted to see the blink over the wall coming out from Dheylo in tandem with the initiation coming out from likely the Geb. Unfortunately, his jungler is sniffed out. You spend so long looking at 4 players right in front of you, you got to ask where the 5th is. I like that attention coming out from Valance Squad's Hunter Funball.
Yeah, the veteran Funballer not fooled there, able to recognize that there was some presence over there on that left-hand side. And you're very right, Poppies, once Dheylo gets brought to half health, they kind of just back up. They no longer want to go for that engagement. Yeah. And I think they're just happy that, like you said earlier, stop.
Yep.
They sort of stopped the aggression from Valance Squadron, happy to be just back at parity and looking to move forward.
I'm actually going to disagree with you on that one. This is where the Poppies need to hit the gas.
Yeah.
Before they were on the back foot, and Valance Squad's pushing into them with a fire giant, and the Poppies, Dracomarino blinks forward and goes, all right, that's it. We got our stop. Walk away. We go home. Now the Poppies, the ball is in their court. They have their hands on the wheel. This is where you slam the pedal to the metal. And right there, I understand, go back and regroup. They figured out your strat. They figured out your play call. Go back and regroup. And guess what? They're going to try the same play in the middle lane. Dheylo over the wall after an initiation. Watch for it.
But Creed blinks in this time and gets a knock up in the backline. Dheylo does blink in just like they were planning, but gets immediately burned. He's not dead yet, but Scratch that fails, takes him out very quickly.
Valance Squad played it. They knew the Poppies play call. They bursted it up beforehand. This time they allow the Poppies to play right into them. Valance Squad last time go in the jungle and go, hey Dheylo, we see you, we'll stiff you out, pop, pop, pop. And then the Poppies go ahead and retreat and they go, okay, we're gonna try this one more time. And we're gonna go in the middle lane. And Valance Squad goes, oh, it looks like there's 4 of you. I wonder where Dheylo is. He definitely isn't on the left side looking to blink over after an initiation. And then as soon as he does, they see Creed come in, and you see everybody on Valance Squad back up and look at the wall. Dheylo pops over the wall. He gets smacked in the mouth. Down he goes. Valance Squad successfully defends against the Poppies Fire Giant push. Absolutely love that play coming out from Valance Squad.
That fight does go 1 for 0 in favor of Valance Squadron. They also secure the Portal Demon on the back of that fight. Now, do you think there's any reason why, despite what we've been seeing so far, instead of Dracomarino making the engagement, it was actually Creed that blinks into the backline and then uses the big ultimate to try and get the knock-up? You know why they might have switched it up and went with Creed here? Because I mean, Dracomarino still has Blink.
It's a secondary initiation. So the idea, and we actually saw a little taste of it earlier in the jungle. Creed goes in, gets a nice big knock-up, and then Dheylo theoretically pulls players into Dracomarino's ultimate, and then everything goes to hell after that, right? Everybody gets chowed down. That's what you're looking for out of that initiation. Also, you're able to chase out some of the early beads. If Creed goes in, they get pulled, they get crowd controlled, beads come out, and then Dracomarino shows up with the full Cataclysm. You're sitting there for the full length of the Geb's done. So I think that's really was the goal of the Poppies. Unfortunately for them and their fans, it does not come up Millhouse.
Yeah, that fight very likely goes just the way you describe it if Dheylo doesn't get almost immediately blown up when he pops over that wall, thanks in large part to Faeles. Now we're back over here on the right-hand side of the map, around this fire giant, where we can see Poppies trying to establish vision control once again. We're going back sort of that fire giant dance that we like to call here on that right-hand side, because this is 34 minutes in the game. Getting this fire giant could blow the game up. This could put you in the driver's seat and very difficult for the other team to come back.
I mean, this is a tie game as possible. You ever take driving lessons?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know those cars that have the 2 steering wheels? That's the game we're in right now. Both teams are just sort of trying to yank it into their side, but not going to happen. The second the fire giant gets pulled, that's when the switch goes and we see who's driving.
And right now, it looks like the vision control is in favor here of Valance, or at very least the positioning. Right now, Warchi kind of be in the front line for him, and he gets a pin to the face for the trouble here. That's what we're seeing a lot of BigManTingz, though. He's been establishing that front line for him, trying to get plenty of hammer tosses, getting out the poke here where we can. But right now, based on what the Poppies have been doing, they're likely waiting for a chance to get either Dracomarino or Creed to blink in on that back line, try and get a knock-up, and then set up MrNazer and Warchi to rein in the damage.
Yeah, and I don't mind the Poppies being this aggressive, but right now they have to react. Ducky very low. Warchi being chased out by Faeles as well, but Ducky took a little bit too much damage there.
Yeah, Warchi shredding the solo laner at this point, and we can see him going with that crit build right now. Got the Deathbringer, and it looks like I think that's the Poison Star and the Wind Demon.
Yep.
So he's hitting fast, and he's doing tons of damage. But in Poppies recognize they push Ducky out. They're trying to start up the Fire Giant, either to bait him in or just to go ahead and get it if they don't respond.
Yeah, I mean, he's going quick and angry. What's so funny?
Yeah, quick and angry. That's the description under Wind Demon, quick and angry.
I mean, you could also say he's going fast and furious.
Okay. Fast and Furious here with F-Dot. I'm Fast and Furious leaving the casting desk and let you handle this one here on your own. But the Poppies looking to try and get some more poke out here. If they can get Ducky to go back one more time, maybe even BigManTingz, and have that 5v4 over here, they can take that Fire Giant. At this point, everyone is very nearly 6 slotted on their items. Looks like only like Faeles and Lawbster, maybe Dheylo waiting still to finish out some items. So we're very close to everyone hitting that max power.
I was laughing before. Valance Squad taking frontline to a whole different level. It's just BigManTingz and Ducky on the Fire Giant, and everybody else's base is so far back.
Yes.
Because they understand how much control the Poppies have. They have a pull, they have blink initiation. The second somebody squishy like Funball gets looked at by the Poppies, they're just gonna fall over and die. So sticking their front line out there, very, very important. Love the positioning coming out from Valance Squad. Fire Giant, however, already half HP.
Yeah, Poppies were able to get the strong positioning here in this engagement. Warchi, though, once again shredding Ducky, and that was enough for Dheylo to blink in and try and turn and burn him. Lobster's ultimate comes over the top, not a whole lot of damage that comes from it, and now Funballer fails, and Ducky forced to back off. Ducky backing all the way back to the base.
The Poppies just ran out of patience, and they said, you know what, Ducky, you're skinny enough for us. We'll go right for you. Don't care if you're frontline or not. Love how the Poppies were just like, you know what, I'm done. We're going. We got a siesta handle later. Fire Giant gets taken out. Love it. The Poppies! This is the aggro play I want to see. When you're a team and you're up and coming, it's so easy to sort of rest on your laurels and go, all right, these guys are bigger than us. We can't handle them. It's been, what, 2 splits in the SPL for the Poppies, if I'm not mistaken, starting out at the beginning of this season. And the Poppies, this is a squad that I want to watch. This is a squad that I want to see. They're performing fantastically. And again, a lot of it goes credit. We're watching Warchi succeed. Give credit to the front line, Creed and Dracomarino.
Yeah, tier 2 towers in mid and right-hand lane fall as Creed goes in to try and get the knock up here. But they're going to be grouping in and pushing in on this Phoenix. Still, Ducky just now respawning. So this is Poppy's chance. They've got it all the way down to like 10%. It's about to fall, but BigManTingz blinks in onto the back line. Faeles able to take out Warchi thanks to a nice stun from BigManTingz here.
Yeah, it was a little problematic. Ducky coming out of the base right then and there. The right side Phoenix is still alive, correct? Yeah, just barely.
Just
Look at
barely.
that. Look at that, just barely. The Poppies, this is a smart play for Valance Squadron to go ahead and chase them. If the Poppies lose one member here, it is bad news bears. Warchi going down stops their Phoenix push already, but they have enough time on the clock to go ahead and look for a secondary push. But like I said, if they get caught out here, John Finch, this is not a good look.
Yeah, Valance Squadron continuing to push in the aggression. Soul's Ultimate came out, but not a lot came from
my
it. Scratch
goodness.
that. MrNazer able to delete Funball after Dracomarino comes in with a strong knockup. Now it's Lawbster in trouble, getting pushed in by Creed. Creed actually fights 3 members there at the end of that fight, and so does Faeles fall.
Front line warriors. The Poppies are bringing it to Valance Squadron by way of the front line. Creed 8-5-8 and Dracomarino 2-4-16, effectively being a part of 18 out of 19 of these team fights. And it's the support versus the support. Who gets the fight?
Well, the support will also have a little bit of backup from the tower here as Dracomarino smacks him underneath that tier 2, but it ends up being a 4-for-0 trade in favor of the Poppies, and now they're going to move down here and take this mid lane Phoenix, very likely for free as well.
He's still chasing him! Yeah. Gab after the dwarf, and the reason he's controlling him is so that the rest of the squad can walk right up and say what up to the Titan.
Y'all can have that Phoenix on the right-hand side. This Titan here is ours. Poppies go in and get the split with Valance Squadron. Very impressive here, Tom. They did a good job just saying go, pulling the trigger there towards that end game and going in. You all may not know it, but over the caster, Tom and I developed an argument here about J.R. Smith. And this is someone J.R. Smith really likes, and I get now why he likes him. J.R. Smith's not afraid to pull the trigger, even against someone who's way better than him, and that's what we saw from Poppies just now. They pulled the trigger.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a quintessential example of two squads deadlocked, and somebody just has to go. And the Poppies are considered the bottom card in this lineup. The Valance Squad is the quote-unquote better team, and the Poppies being able to harness in their confidence and be able to just go for it. That is a deadlock, meaning nobody in that game had the upper hand. And the Poppies just go for it. They choose. They say, you know what? We can't actually get to the back line because Valance Squadron was presenting themselves positioned almost flawlessly. And they just go, you know what? All right, Ducky, we'll see just how tanky are you, bud. And they just collapse, corrupt, and control. Love it.
Yeah, Warchi did a good job at that end of the team fight, shredding Ducky. Once they realized he was able to get some damage in, they just went in and pushed on him, and they basically took it from him. But that was it for Game 2 here between the Valance Squadron and the Poppies, though. So they end up splitting. Things end up going very well for them. We're going to take it here to a real quick break for y'all, but we'll be back with some more SPL action.
JR the star.
One of those days when the world don't give you no grace, you'd rather fly away and keep on going higher, but they keep dragging you down. Now if you wish to spread those wings and fly, you gotta turn it around. Don't look over your shoulder. Look back, no use for second opinions. Don't wanna stay in the past. Just keep on going, go for the top. We keep on rolling, and don't ever stop. There's really only one way to go. You need to crawl back on your feet and keep on fighting. And don't ever stop. Don't look over your shoulder. Don't ever look back.